Hello and welcome back to the Wee Larder channel. Today I'm going to be making a delicious traditional Scottish rhubarb crumble, and I'm going to be making the topping with oats, and it just gives it such a delicious crunchy texture on the top, and it just makes it particularly Scottish because the oats on top as well, and it just works so well. It's such a delicious pudding. Rhubarb is one of my favourite foods at this time of year, and we really enjoy it in so many things, and it grows really well here as well in our garden. So I do have a couple of other recipes coming up, but let's get started just now on our delicious traditional Scottish rhubarb crumble. So for this delicious rhubarb oat crumble, you're going to need 250 grams of rhubarb, 200 grams of apples, that's approximately 2 medium apples, and you're looking for the green cooking apples as well, 50 grams of caster sugar, 4 tablespoons of water, juice of half a lemon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and for the crumble topping you're going to need 50 grams of plain flour, 30 grams of coarse oatmeal, 50 grams of brown sugar, 50 grams of butter, and you're also going to need a very small amount of oats and caster sugar for sprinkling over the top of the crumble as well. So we're just going to start by preheating our oven to 180, and that's a fan oven as well. So we're going to start with our rhubarb and apples, and we're looking to chop them up into rough cube shapes, about this kind of size. So we're looking for something like this with the rhubarb, and we're looking for something like this with the apples. So if you chop all those up, and you don't have to peel the apples as well, I just like to keep the skins on, and we're just going to add all of those into a large pan. So if you just pop all of your apples and rhubarb into your pan there. And we're then going to add our sugar, and we're also going to add in our water and our squeeze of lemon at this point as well. So I've put in 4 tablespoons of water, but if you need a little bit more, if it starts to stick at any time, please feel free to add a little bit more water in. So you do want a little bit of water in here so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. So if you just squeeze all your lemon in and give that a good stir around. And if you just stir everything through just to make sure that it is all evenly coated with the sugar, and we're just going to add in our vanilla as well, and we're going to give that another good stir through. So we're going to bring our pan to a medium simmer, and we're just going to leave that simmering for about 5 to 10 minutes, and just keep stirring every now and again just to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. And some water does come out of the fruit as well, but that will just kind of simmer away. So we're not looking to cook this down to a complete mush. We're looking to still have a little bit of bite, especially in the apples. The rhubarb will cook down quite a lot at this stage, and that's okay. We are looking for something a little bit like this. So your apples are still quite crispy, but your rhubarb is a little bit not too mushy, but it's definitely softened at this stage. So once you have something like this, you're ready to start popping it into your oven dish. So we're just going to take that off the heat, and we're going to get started on our topping. So we pop our flour and our oatmeal into our bowl there. I also had some sneaky rolled oats, somehow managed to sneak into my topping there as well, but that's okay. We're adding in our brown sugar there as well. We're then going to pop in our butter, and we're just going to rub that through. And I notice there's a little hand in the background stealing things off the counter there. So we're just going to rub that through our fingers until we have a breadcrumb type consistency in our bowl for our topping. You can use a mixer at this point, but I find the hands are the best to get stuck in. So we're going to pop all of our rhubarb and apple into our dish, and it has cooled down a little bit by this stage, and that's totally okay. That's what we're looking for. So as you can see, the rhubarb is not completely mushy, so we don't want to cook it down too much at this stage because it will cook a little bit in the oven as well. So we're just going to pop all of that into our oven-proof dish there. So our dish is quite a small size, so you're not looking for anything too massive here for your dish for the oven. A small pie dish would work really well as well. We're just going to spread that out so that it is evenly spread out in the dish there as well, and then we're just going to sprinkle our topping all over the apple and the rhubarb. So we have our breadcrumb type consistency here, and this is just going to get sprinkled all over the top of our rhubarb nice and evenly. Once we have sprinkled it all into the dish on top of the apples and rhubarb, we're then going to press it down lightly, just so that it's nice and firm. So you just put all of the topping on and just covering all the nooks and crannies there, and press it down a little bit, and then we're going to sprinkle on a very small amount of caster sugar, probably about a tablespoon's worth. You don't need to measure it out, just put on enough to cover the top, and we're going to sprinkle a very small amount of rolled oats on the top there as well. So we're just going to pop that into the oven at 180 for 20 minutes until it is slightly browned and crunchy on the top. So we're just going to serve our rhubarb crumble up straight away, and it is super delicious. I absolutely love the flavours in this crumble. They just all work really, really well together, and the oaty crumble topping is just so nice. We're going to serve that up with some ice cream, but you can also serve up with some cream, whipped cream. Custard also works really well. But I'm actually trying out this chocolate orange and honeycomb ice cream from Mackey's, and I'm also adding on some of their vanilla as well, just for a double dose. So I hope you enjoyed making your delicious rhubarb crumble. It works really, really well with custard or ice cream or whipped cream. Also works well with it as well. It's such a delicious pudding to have at this time of year, and it's definitely one of our favourites. You can swap the rhubarb out for pear or apple if you're watching this out with spring, or for any other summer berries for that matter. Would work really well in here as well, or autumn berries as well. But I just love to have this recipe with rhubarb. It's definitely my favourite way of making up a crumble. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did take a photo and you're on Instagram, please feel free to tag me in your stories, and I'll share it over on my stories as well with everyone. And if you like this video, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it, you'll be notified of my new videos coming out in the future. And if you really enjoy traditional Scottish cooking, you might enjoy my cookbook, which is completely free over on my website angiemilne.com, and you can download it from there. Just pop in your email and it'll be sent straight to your inbox. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope to see you all again soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.